Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a review of the Tangzu Zetian Wu Heyday. This is a review I'm very excited about because I've fallen in love with this IEM for both gaming and music. I do want to start off with the unboxing experience because, again, if you're going to be shelling out $199, I sure as heck want to have a really nice unboxing experience, and I can definitely say you get that with the Tangzu Zetian Wu Heyday. The first thing you'll notice when you take this out of the box are those beautiful faceplates on the IEM itself. They have that nice engraving that just looks absolutely amazing. And you do get a slew of ear tips here, both balanced and bass enhancing, as well as foam ear tips, and a very large carrying case, which is appreciated. And the cable out of the box is beautiful. It's this nice blue, shiny coloration, and it is a modular cable with a 4.4, 3.5, and 2.5, allowing you to connect the IEM to whatever device you have, whether it be a adapter on your phone, your laptop, your PC, or a nice balanced setup on your amp DAC. The shell is different than the original. The original is a resin. This is a full aluminum shell, which will add a bit of weight and different texture, of course, but just looks absolutely phenomenal. I've tried a lot of IEMs now from $20 all the way to $1,500, and the Tangzu Zetian Wu Heyday, to me, when I put them on and I first went into Apex Legends and Valorant, I had a smile on my face because they just sound so fun and yet clean. I think they work well for gaming, definitely not as good as my top offerings, but they're just so nice in terms of their tuning and their tonality and their technicalities in those lower frequencies through that mid range that it just is such a fun experience. And I really can't stress that enough. We'll get into gaming, but I want to get into how they sound in comparison to the originals. And I do think that they are a warmer neutral than something like the Dunu Kima. You get a lot more textured bass and a lot more technicality from these in terms of your music listening experience over the Dunu Kima, which is not a planar. These are a 14.5 millimeter planar on each side. The Dunu Kima being a dynamic driver, but of course, similar characteristics in terms of their feel, their sound for gaming related purposes. These have very clean and textured and just fast feeling bass. Again, a lot of fun. And on this copy compared to the original, that sub bass has been lowered and doesn't really bleed into the mids. Not that the original necessarily did a lot, but this has a very clean mid range while keeping that bass, that sub bass region, mid bass region, very clean, impactful, well textured again. So you get a nice level of that mid range to provide really nice male vocals that, again, isn't being overwhelmed. There is a little bit of an extra meatiness to male vocals. And I do feel like that kind of carries over as well to female vocals. You lose a little bit of that sparkle, that airiness, that charisma to that femininity that you get in the female vocal range. But everything just sounds so good on the Tangzu Zetian Wu Heyday in terms of just the entire frequency graph. I was really impressed with the technicalities, the pickup of that micro detail, and I do feel that the sound stage is a little bit wider on this version of the Zetian Wu, and I do think that there's a little bit more depth and note differentiation on this copy compared to the original. So just such a good listening experience in this price range, and probably my favorite planar for music listening that I own right now. I think that I would prefer these for music over the Raptio Hook X. In terms of gaming, yes, these perform well. They kind of remind me of a similar experience that I had with the Dunu Kima, which again is a dynamic compared to a planar. But I think it falls just ever so slightly behind the Dunu Kima. I think the Dunu Kima does a little bit of a better job at overall separation as well as depth perception. I think overall imaging on this IEM is at a level to be able to utilize this for competitive purposes. For imaging, I scored this in 8.1 in terms of being able to pick up kind of with a level of precision where everybody is around you for both Valorant as well as Apex Legends. I think they did very good in that regard. Again, the separation has definitely improved over the original with that cleanliness in that sub-bass and mid-bass region, not bleeding out the mids. And I gave the separation an 8.0, which I would carry over from both Valorant and Apex. So for a single planar driver, a very good score here, and probably for a single planar, the best score that I have tested on a single planar. For depth perception, when people are shooting in Apex Legends, you get that generality of where they are with a bit of precision. You know, kind of along a chart where distance-wise in terms of how many yards that person would be away from you. But I don't find them to be as good in depth perception as something like the Dunu Kima or the Truther Critical Zero. I score the depth perception a 7.9, meaning if somebody is shooting gunshots far away from you, do you know exactly where they are coming from? So 7.9 is an extremely good score. Again, good enough in my opinion to utilize these for competitive purposes, which again is amazing because they just sound so damn good. Again, I have such an enjoyable experience using these in both Valorant, CSGO, and Apex Legends. They just sound great and perform at a level where I'm not necessarily losing out on much. Would I take these as my primary ranked grinder? I would not. But if you want to have a lot of fun while maintaining that level of aggressiveness in terms of your play, that ability to pick up everything, I think they will get the job done. In terms of verticality, they are not something that is, I would say, fuzzy. I scored verticality in 8.0. So if I have people whizzing over my head in Apex Legends, or if somebody is on another level than me in Valorant, I thought it actually did quite well. I give it an 8.0. Again, if that depth perception was a little bit better, I think it would have scored higher. But out of everything, that does bring the overall score of the Tangzu Zetian Wu for gaming purposes with those competitive features to an 8.0. So if you are somebody who is looking for the most competitive IEM for gaming related purposes, I would probably refer you to a different area. If you already have that IEM and you're looking to add something to your collection that's still pretty damn good for gaming, but just kick ass for music and entertainment, the Zetian Wu Heyday at $199 just has fantastic build quality, comes with a lot, beautiful unboxing experience, awesome cable here. And I do think that for the price, it is probably one of the IEMs that reigns in that supreme region for the price tag for music and entertainment. I can't really think of an IEM, a planar IEM, under $200 that I would rather listen to right now than the Zetian Wu Heyday. Again, something that when I jumped into Val, when I jumped into Apex, it kind of brings a smile to your face because it just sounds so damn good and plays still at a level where you're not losing a whole lot. You're still going to be playing at a super competitive level, but just listening to something that sounds so good. So again, guys, it scored an 8.0 for me. Depending on the scenario, it could probably go up or down another 0.1. I think for a lot of scenarios, it would maybe move down a 0.1 to a 7.9. So keep that in mind. But just a nice IEM for gaming, a beautiful IEM for music and entertainment. And I really do hope that if you guys pick it up, you enjoy it as much as I do. I hope that helped, guys. If it did, please leave a sub to the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next review. Peace.